Right, and you're back to Prime Mornings. Time for a very interesting conversation. Make sure you get interactive with us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are live on Facebook. It is Joy Prime without the TV. You can share your thoughts with us on our WhatsApp line as well. My name is Isiodua Akumia, and there's something very interesting going on in the University Students Association of Ghana. And the interesting thing is that they have reported, or they are accusing their president of misappropriating their funds, of unlawfully collecting funds. Doing some research into this matter, I was quite surprised to have found out that at some point their president, Dr. Christian Insefo, actually asked his sister, who is not a member, to collect funds on his behalf. I don't know how true this is, but I have some of the executives seated with me this morning for us to delve into the matter. But because of the misappropriation of funds in relation on the part of the president, the executives have tried reaching him severally. He's not making an appearance. He's not answering his phone calls, and so they want answers. That's all that they are seeking for. But we really want to understand what led to all of this, what's led to them being seated here this morning, what exactly they expect, what they want to do moving forward. And actually, Christian Insefo has been president of USAG for about a year, because he was actually voted into power, should I say, last year, August. So it's been a year. But I want to find out how his reign has been, how long this misappropriation of funds or this embezzlement of monies, how long it has gone on in the association. And so seated with me this morning is Angela Ya Asantua, who is International and Diaspora Relations Secretary. I also have seated with me Desmond Edujemfi, who is their Treasurer, and Diane Akpene Green, who is the Coordinating Secretary. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are you?
By grace, you're fine.
Yeah, good. Okay, so off air, we're saying quite a lot in relation to all that is going on. But for the sake of people who do not really understand what is going on within the union or within the association, what led to you accusing Dr. Christian Insefo of misappropriating funds in relation to the association? Let me start with you.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. So all this came about after our user congress. We tried reaching out to our president.
When was the conference?
From 30th August to 2nd September.
September, okay.
Personally, I called the president after the congress on the morning. That's on the 3rd of September. Myself and my executive called him that we had a meeting. We need to sit and then discuss what comes next after our.
But was he supposed to be present at the Congress?
Yes.
But he didn't come.
No, he was at the Congress.
He was at the Congress.
We were all there.
Okay.
We were all there, but most of us had come from Accra. So we need to sit and then discuss the way forward. Then if we leave, we will leave, because it shouldn't be like, since we are there in person, we go there, everything will be like on phone conversation, because as an association we need to plan the aftermath of the Congress.
To see the way forward.
To see the way forward. The elected the new crop of executives, the handing over preparations and everything needs to be discussed. The expenses in regards to the Congress preparation. What are the way forward in paying, if we've incurred, what's the name? Costs. What are the way forward in paying all those costs? And I mean, there are so many conversations that need to be had. But then we called our president and he never made appearance. He stood as with the national executive up the entire day, throughout the night. He never made appearance. Not knowing, he's connived with some of our executives. Because I can say it on authority that our women's commissioner, Mrs. Ellen, who knew that we were having meeting with the president, we've arranged a meeting with the president, made an flimsy excuse that she was going to the poolside, not knowing she was going to meet the president there at the poolside. In the presence of the financial controller, our financial controller, and then the general secretary, who they've aligned with the president. We were there seated with them in the midst of them, waiting for the president to come as at 6:45 p.m.
So it's not just him that is involved in this.
No.
There are some of the executive members who are also part
of the conspiracy.
Or who are on his side in relation to this.
Yes, best put.
I see. So you called him that day. He didn't pick up. He didn't show up.
You see, funny enough, earlier in the afternoon, he showed up. And then I told him that, Mr. President, I've been calling you. He said he hasn't seen my call. But I wasn't, faithfully enough, I wasn't the only person who had been calling. Ms. Diane here called her, Joe Jemfi has been calling, and myself, we called the financial secretary to prompt him that we've been waiting. I called Ms. Ellen to prompt her that we've been waiting, so she should relay the information to the president that we've been waiting for us to sit, as we've been doing over the months. Yes, but he never showed up. As I speak to you, if it is today that the president will call Angela Santo-Amoako, for us to sit and have these conversations, then we do not know. So what we are demanding of the president is accountability.
Right.
We are done with the Congress. As national executives, we have a mandate to the university student that has brought us into office. We are telling the president that if he claims that he has spent money, he's gone for loans, he should provide us with the receipts of the loan. Let us know the institution that he went for those monies from, and then we will, if there is a need for us to sit and then sort out those issues. I mean, why would we let his name get tarnished, or why would we disgrace the association that he has gone for money to come and organize Congress? We wouldn't sit there for him to be disgraced. As executives, we will sit. But for you to say that, for you keep all the monies and you make the payments without sitting with your elected executive to know, to account to them on what you use those monies for that we wouldn't take. And that has brought about this whole conversation.
Okay, so for those of you that are wondering what USAG, or University of Students Association of Ghana, is, so it's a committee, or should I say it's an association that students in university actually votes these individuals in power to represent them, to to progress them, to make sure that students have a very comfortable life on campus, have very easygoing lives on campuses, and then all that. So they are like the mouthpieces of the students. Okay, that is what the University of Students Association of Ghana, simply put, is. USAG is. Now let me come to you, Diane. I've been wondering that within the committee, when you say funds, in the first place, where do these funds come from? And when you are seeking, or you are trying to get these funds or dues, is it that every single member in the committee or in the association has to pay a certain dues, or monies are taken from the students in the various universities for something progressional for the universities that these students are? What exactly are monies taken for?
Okay. Good morning once again. The University Students Association of Ghana is supposed to run the administration on the dues that the member institution, that is the university institutions, pay to us.
Okay.
Those are the monies expected for us to use to run the administration. However, these schools do not pay the dues. Rather,
the various universities,
they do not.
They don't pay the dues.
They do not. Some give excuses that their school fees have not been fully paid, and therefore the school cannot release that amount to us. So they pay it at the end of our administration, that is at our Congress, on the day of elections, to enable their delegates to vote. And so that has been the culture. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be at the beginning of the administration.
So you can have monies to run the administration.
Exactly.
So how do you get monies to run whilst you're in power then?
And that has been one of the toughest since we came to administration, because we have to go for funds from individuals, from companies. We have to, sometimes we fund ourselves. We make contributions to have our programs and all that. So everything has been self-funded, and we receive funds in the form of sponsorship from other companies and governmental associations as well. And then on the Congress Day, we don't only just receive dues, we receive capitation, that is the accommodation, the food, they have to pay for them, and then souvenirs if there are. And so those are the monies that, and with that, we actually accrue a lot of money on Congress. A lot, because imagine about 57 schools paying not less than 5,000 Ghana cedis as dues. That is without capitation, which means that on that Congress grounds, there are lots of liquid cash and checks that come in when it's supposed to come in at the beginning of the administration.
Wow.
Yes.
You guys, so you end up soliciting for funds.
Yes.
And if it's not going too well, you end up funding yourselves.
Yes. We make contributions.
To keep it running, to keep it going. Desmond, you are the treasurer.
Yeah.
One thing that's kept on popping in mind when I was reading about this whole issue is that who in the first place is supposed to collect monies? Who in the first place should the monies go to? Who should be the keeper of these dues that are paid?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. So I will talk based on constitution because every association has their own constitution.
Right.
Needs to run the association. So per the constitution and its mandates, the financial controller is in charge of collecting dues from member association.
Okay.
And me as a treasurer, I have to keep the money or make sure maybe the money is kept well.
Right.
So a day before the Congress, that was Tuesday, 29th August, the president and the financial controller called me that he doesn't trust any of the executives.
They called you?
Yeah, they called me that.
The 8-member executives.
They don't trust any of the executives. So
how many are you on,
we are
on
8
the board?
elected executives.
8?
Yeah, 8. So he doesn't trust any of the executives, so he would like his own sister to come on board to collect the association money. So after the president raised that issue, I told him, you don't respect me, and it is an insult into my office.
Okay, so out of the 8-member committee,
sure,
2, he, the president, and who
and the
financial controller called you,
called me,
the treasurer, that they don't trust the other 5.
Yeah.
On there.
Even we, the executive, even the 7 executives, so he doesn't trust anybody.
Including the financial
controller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so how come the both of them decided to call you and then say this to you?
Because they have already arranged that they want to bring his own sister onto the table so that his sister will collect.
Is his sister a member?
No.
Not an executive, not a member, not an appointee. Simply not from USAG. I don't even know if she's a university student.
No, she completed last 2 years or so.
That was my first time meeting her.
Yeah.
So she came for the money?
She came. So, we were exchanging words during us at that time. But the controller said the constitution gives him that mandate to receive the association dues and capitation.
It gives him?
Yeah, him the controller.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, he's not competent enough to hold such a huge amount of money, so he wants the president's sister to come in to receive the money. And because it was, escalating, and I didn't want people to come in to, then I said, no, let me wait. So I waited till the next morning. That was when I saw his sister with a very big bag,
Coming for the money.
Yes, a backpack.
So I have a pictures, everything that back my evidence that this is what happened. And
so did the president give you what exactly he was going to use the monies for?
No. Constitutionally, I have to keep accurate record of the association's money. I have to make sure that this is what we are using the money for.
Yes.
I have to keep receipts. I have to make sure that this is where the money is going to do and other stuff. So I was much interested in that aspect. But since the constitution gives the financial controller that mandate to collect the dues, and he said
it was sort of restricting you.
Yes, but not to keep the dues. Collect, but not to keep.
So initially, we all agreed that, okay, if you said you are not competent enough to, handle the money, let's deposit the money into the association account. Maybe after you have, collected all the money. He said, okay. I waited till Friday. Nobody called me. So I was there. I said, So on Saturday, that was when all the school arrived. So they were in hurry paying their dues and other stuff. So I raised that alarm that since you don't even know about this, let's all come together and find out certain things that this is what we are going to do. They said no. Because
okay, so before you continue, I want to find out, did you end up giving the monies to the sister?
Yeah. Her sister was there.
With a big bag?
With a big bag. He took all the money. And the only money that went through the association account was when some of the schools, the dean of students will pay the money through the association account. So that was the money in the association account. But let me say the fiscal cash.
It was nowhere.
The checks they brought on.
So it was only 4 schools that paid their dues through the association account. Yeah.
Only 4 schools.
Only 4 schools.
Diane.
And even with that, we later, after we brought out a release when we found out that that was the thing that happened, because most of the executives were not agreeing to the fact that someone who's not an executive should sit on a collection table.
Yes.
And so he had his way. He had his way because there was security on grounds and we didn't want any misunderstanding. So he had his way. So we tried to reach him so that we sit down, but he did not. We scheduled a meeting for 7. He never showed up. He never called. He never gave any excuse whatsoever. We made a release addressing that, and then they counter a release saying that we came to them requesting that the association's money that is with him should be shared, and that he is not going to, and that is what he countered with. And then in the same release stated that the USAG, all monies accrued at the Congress have been deposited into the association's account. No problem.
But okay.
So the financial, the treasurer and I went to our bank, that's Fidelity. We got our bank statement, which showed that no amount had been deposited. In actual sense, 120,000 Ghana cedis has actually been withdrawn by both the financial controller and the president.
Okay, so we actually have a post on here. Let's read. As the Constitution requires of me, all monies collected during USAG Congress were deposited into the USAG account.
Yes.
I have all the receipts at my disposal, and we've started offsetting our debts. And B, the president hasn't hoarded any money and hasn't embezzled any funds.
Yes, so we followed up on this.
Okay, you followed up on this.
And found out that this was a lie.
So this is what you saw?
Yes.
No, and then you decided to go to the bank to be sure?
To be sure,
yes. So after this, the next day, that was on 9th, the financial controller and the general secretary, they released a communique that they have deposited all the money. Even they send the money into the association cafes by me. So me and the financial controller, that was what they stated in the communique. And of which it is never true. So when I found out that...
Which includes the money that his sister...
Yeah, he said all the money.
So all of it?
Yeah, all the money. So I went to Fidelity, their headquarters.
Oh, and he's got proof here.
Yes.
Okay.
We can...
So that's it. There is the Fidelity. Yeah. Fidelity Bank.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went there and I found out that our Congress started 30th August. So it was on 1st September. That was when University of Energy and Natural Resources, they deposited money, UDS, Wa Campus, UMAT, Takwa. So those are the schools who pay their dues through the association.
You said earlier you mentioned 4 schools.
Yeah, yes. So Takwa, they have 2 campuses.
Okay. So, yeah. Making 4 in total.
Making 4 in total.
Okay.
So as at 4th September, that was 2 days before the Congress.
After
the Congress, that was the time it was indicated the financial controller has withdrawn 120,000 from the account without even informing me. So
after the 4 schools had deposited their dues into the account, an amount of 120,000 later on 2 days after the Congress had been withdrawn from this account that they said they had put all the monies in.
And that is, I just want to state that is a breach of our Constitution. What the message we are trying to put across out there is the fact that students' unions these days do not respect the constitutions that back the association. Sure. The treasurer here is supposed to authorize, according to the constitution, be a signature to any authorization to any disbursement of any funds whatsoever. So let's just say, without admitting that you wanted to use that amount to go and pay debts, urgent debts, why didn't you ask for the approval of the treasurer? Right. Why didn't you even inform any other executive? Just you, the president, Dr. Christianity for Anderson, and the financial controller. two of them doing their own disbursement, making their own payments, and then you breach the constitution, and it's unlawful.
So the controller even posted that we have started offsetting our debts.
That's how not supposed to.
So this one is from the controller. Yes, messages from the financial controller.
So even
after this his release, then before we got the bank statements to prove that what he is saying, because he came attacking us even without. You see, the funniest thing is he himself doesn't know where the monies are, and that is the problem.
The financial controller.
Yes. You see, the thing is, when we were there waiting for the president, I asked him, Mr. Financial Controller, where is our money? How much fiscal cash did we make?
Okay.
When you counted, he said the monies are not with him.
So the president.
And he made this funny statement. What I have in my books should, and what the president should have a little more than what
he has in his books.
Which implies that even him, he's
not too sure about the exact amount.
So what if the president we all go to sleep and the president comes to tell us that he only received 30,000 Ghana cedis dues from the schools? Or when he went to sleep, he was robbed of our monies.
Because it has happened before.
Yes.
Presidents have run away with associations' money.
I was going to ask if this was the first time something like this is happening.
That is why we are speaking now. That is why we are here today.
Okay, so your people are watching, and we have some comments. Let's take the comments from social media, what some of you have to say. Okay, so Polly says, please, I want you to ask them one simple question. What did they as executives do the administration? Okay, do at the administration. I think that's what he's trying to say. Police again says that's a lie. It's a lie. She never did anything of such. Okay, so this person is countering.
Yes, we actually have threats today that they are going to
threats
that they are going to counter everything with comments to make. But we have proof here.
So they made you aware that they will do something like this.
Yes, so you can see just one person.
So this person is an appointee by the president, and he's part of the publicity.
Oh, you know him?
Oh yes, that is a struggle we have gone through.
The reason why, whenever you are talking about corruption and accountability in Ghana here, most people wish that they can come on board, but they are afraid because of maybe
the backlash.
But we as university students, we believe that some years to come, we here will be also vying for some big positions.
Bigger positions,
here.
Yeah.
And we need people we can trust.
Yes.
That's why we are here. Trying to defend the name of the association, and also to make sure that the USAG association will progress some years to come. We want correct leaders. We want people who are accountable. We want people who are willing to sacrifice for the association. Not people who are willing to, focus on their personal interests or their selfish interests.
And then you recruit people like this, to attack us.
It is somehow normal to us. Yeah,
we have evidence that shows she was there.
It is funny with the kind of silent culture that we have within the student leadership. Where
everybody's keep quiet about
they all brand themselves and they all tag themselves as youth activists. Yet when there are important issues to outline, to talk about, if within our association we normalize everything, even when the thing is bad, we are unable to speak to truth. Then what right then do we have to question what our leaders are doing? So we just want our constituents to know that what we are doing, we do not seek to tarnish the image of any individual or to drag the name of the association to the mud. What we are doing, we are trying to set things right for for the next set of leadership to learn from. Because you see, when we started this whole thing, we've had comments from past executives that they were same thing were done to them. President wasn't accounting to the executives, and people left the association with bitter feelings for the association.
Okay, so we actually received an official communique from, I believe it's from your president. So if you can have that projected, so I read just a few lines, so we can touch on that briefly, which the headline, it reads, USAG money will not be shared by executives. President of USAG insists. So we can have that communique projected on the screen for viewers to see exactly. Okay, so let me read what I have here. So the attention of the leadership of the University Students Association of Ghana has been drawn to false reportage purportedly put out by some persons with the intention to cause disaffection for the president of the association.
How is this a case?
Now, ordinarily, the allegations, as baseless as they, do not merit a response from the association, but upon a wide consultation with stakeholders and the image of the association, we are directed by the national executive officers to set the record straight. Firstly, the said statement on the forged letterhead of the association is blatantly false and does not represent in any way the true reality and view of the leadership of the association. It is known information across the country that the president, with his personal risk, secured a loan for the commencement of the Congress. It is also a known fact from the Constitution that the preparation and presentations of the accounts of the association is the duty of the financial controller and not the president. It must also be on record that all monies at this year's Congress were collected by the treasurer and financial controller. So we have the treasurer seated here, who is going to answer to that if indeed he collected all these monies. So it says all monies at this year's Congress were collected by the treasurer and financial controller, who then issued receipts and deposited the funds on behalf of the association. Article 21 and 25 USAG Constitution as amended 2022. It must also be placed on record that the president of the association is not the sole signatory to the accounts and therefore cannot have access to funds alone. Desmond.
Okay, so there is a reason why I officially I came out to, you know, also release a communique, you know, about this, because they were so insistent that they have deposited all the association. It was all, including capitation, dues, banners, vendors, everything. So they said all monies. All monies. And per the record I have here and the evidence, they have never deposited any money from the association account. And the controller said he went to the bank, per the communique with me, of which is never true. So with this, I don't know what they were trying to do, because they thought you will never get access to the bank statement, so they can just come out, you know, to lie. And ever since I brought up my statement and everything, they can't even reply messages.
So you still can't reach the president.
They can't.
What about the financial controller?
You just come and comment heat or just a laughing emoji.
Yes.
I don't know whether they can't express themselves or I don't know.
And there have been threats by the financial controller to the press and information, which we have evidence, a voice recording of himself telling the PIS that if she involves herself with this whole issue, she is trading the monies that she has put into the association with what she's talking about, and so she should stop and take everything that she has written on social media off, and that the president himself was considering her, but because she is talking about the misappropriation, she is going to be traded. And then the fact that you write USAG money will not be shared by executives, when none of us, I don't think she here has had any conversation with any executive or anybody. Exactly. They are trying to sway the conversation from the president being a corrupt president and the financial controller being as one. This is the reason they wrote this, and they shot themselves in the foot by saying that all monies this year has been deposited. Then we went for this statement, which proves that they have not actually. They made a withdrawal.
Only account.
No,
yes, we only have one USAG account that is with Fidelity,
so,
and any other account is illegal.
So if they are saying all money has been deposited, then it means per what they posted, it means they have created another account, maybe in their name or maybe in a different association name.
It's unlawful. It's unlawful. It's a crime.
And you know, the reason why we are fighting this good cause is you know, whenever new executives are being elected, they will find it difficult to get funds, you know, to
do the work,
and other stuff. So we are here, you know, fighting in the interest of USAG and Ghanaian university students, so that the next administration will get enough money, you know, to sponsor their programs and their projects.
That
is the main cause of this issue. So they should even forget about we sharing.
We wanted to share money.
We are all university students, and me personally, I'm working as an electrical engineer. So why then should I come that we should share the association money? Why?
So at the end of the day, if you guys are doing all this, okay, let's say that monies were being put into everything appropriately.
Yeah.
The various universities were paying their dues and then all that. Would you be expecting monies to be paid to you?
So
would you have been on any payroll?
So one thing, or maybe some normal thing we used to do is, since we pre-finance every program, maybe at the end of the administration, we will also sit down and discuss, since we all put money together to organize programs and other stuff, so let's maybe take some portion of this, then the rest will be,
so when you take the portion, then you share it amongst yourselves.
Yeah,
no, it is according to the amount you give in. So we made contributions for our Senate.
Yeah.
So at the end, we sit down. So you contributed 5,000 cedis. So this is your 5,000 cedis. You contributed, so this is your 6.
Okay, so you give the monies that you put into, you give it back.
Due. Yes, that is due. We do not take allowance. We do not take any payment. We don't take ex-gratia. We don't take any money. We are the ones rather putting our monies into it. And then I remember when we were here for the school fees increment issue, we came to Joy Prime to talk about myself, the PIS, and one other executive, and then we were trying to resolve the school fees increment issues. And all these are sacrifices that we make. But now the culture is that, what did you contribute to ask for something? That is why we there was that comment that who asked them what they have done to ask for accountability. So now the corruption in student politics is that until you have contributed, you do not have the right to ask for accountability. These are the leaders that we say we are for tomorrow.
But have you contributed?
Exactly.
We have a screenshot,
we
a
all
budget,
have organized
everything.
programs. I went to the northern region twice by bus. I funded those trips myself, but I didn't go for my own personal.
It was for USAG.
Everything was for USAG. Yes, we all clothing to when there are some lesser distribution. Some places you go, you have to go by with Uber and all that. It's for my own monies. So what do you mean by saying that? What you're asking us what we have done for the association? These advocacies, we sat on television. Even there were moments where, let's say, we go for some visitations and we get some small monies from these CEOs, and then we have to channel them into the USAG, office renovation, and then to keep those monies for our press conferences. And you dare question our loyalty and then our service to the university people. That shows corruption.
He goes about he has not responded to us, but Christian Anderson goes about on our USAG WhatsApp platforms that we are not on, saying that a group of executives who have contributed not even a penny are asking for their monies to be shared, just lying. And that questions his integrity, because if you know you have done the right thing and your executives are asking for accountability, you give accountability. You don't wait for the issue to escalate. Now we are having people calling us, threatening us, and now people calling us, now trying to propose money to us.
Propose money for you to keep quiet.
Yes, that is money that we want, and so we should get the money and then keep quiet. But we are here for the next generation and the generations to come, that the corruption in student politics and student unions will end. Because we have past executives calling us that they wish they had spoken up, because if they had, we wouldn't have been here today. And we are here for that. And we won't stop until the right thing is done. We have taken it on legally, and we will make sure that whoever is accountable will be brought to it. Yes, it's because a crime. It's a crime.
So we want to set the record straight. We are fighting because we want accountability, not about sharing of money. No. So if the president think, he has all the money on his side, he should come, should sit us down, we the executives. They should bring their receipt, their evidence.
Yeah, because at some point, part of the statement mentioned even going for loans.
Yeah, no, he's not mandated.
So he's not mandated.
No. That's my duty as a USAG treasurer. The constitution giving me that mandate,
But do you know if he did it? He ended up taking the loan.
We don't care, because he didn't consult any of the executives. And I am the one, the constitution giving that mandate to do so. So even if you want to take that step,
you have to inform me first.
Yes.
And you have to submit all the receipts into my office, so that in terms of giving accounts, I will just pop it down that maybe some months ago or maybe some days ago, we went in for this and this. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
But Miss Asieduwa, let's assume he went for a loan. Let's assume. We've been asking, which entity did you go for the loan from?
Yeah.
And what kind of agreements did you? What are the terms to the loan you went for? Because USAG is not just any association; it's a mother union to the university students in Ghana. So you can't just walk into any institution and just, even the financial controller is working in one of the investment banks. So he has knowledge about this loan. If there's a place to go for loan, I think the bank should be the IDOT, and you can't tell us that this, if you went for loan from the banks, you can't provide documents. You get. So we're asking the president that if you said you've gone for loan, we wouldn't want you to be disgraced. Provide evidence. We need to sit down and talk these issues out. Beside all this money issues, we need to plan for the new crop of executives.
Because your tenure is over.
Ended.
It is over.
We need them to come and to start work, because now university students are facing issues of accommodation and then hike in price and everything. Those conversations need to be had, and not USAG aftermath of USAG election.
And finally, sorry, Ms. Asieduwa, I just want to state this because we are on live television, that the threats we have been receiving from his appointees, the insults, the backlash, trying to stop us. Some could personally post our pictures and then make fun of us, the emotional bullying. But I just want to state, and I know they are watching, that it is not going to stop us from doing the right thing. They can backlash, they can insult, they can send to bloggers and blog all evil stuff about us. But I know that one day,
I wonder what really is stopping the president from coming forward.
That's the question.
Because I think that if you are listening, if you are watching, if you are to come forward with everything that they are seeking right now, all this will just end. Just come forward and then say that, okay, this amount, this and this is what you did with the monies. Maybe, or most probably was for the benefit of the association. So just be open to them. Let them know that this and this is what you use the monies for. And that's what they are actually waiting for. Well, we have some comments. Let's read this one. It says, hi, I'm Obi Dumbi, UCC student. Obi Dumbie, I hope I got it correct. Edu Jemfi is telling the truth. The president thought the association is for his family. How can you bring your sister to collect money? He has his plans already. Edu Jemfi, expose them all. Edu Jemfi heat, yes, yeah, they are all bringing the heat. Senior says, I had the opportunity working with Desmond when he was there. Okay, L Nugs Pro. What? Local. Local. Yeah. Okay, Nugs PRO. He has always been loyal, honest, and with finances. The Fosu guy and their allies are very criminal, and I can firmly attest to that. Sakosa says, good morning, Joy Prime. I have a simple question. Have you made any attempt to reach out to any of these accused people? You don't accuse people, just come and make allegations without reaching out to the accused. If you were listening right from the beginning, you would know, and I'm speaking to Akosa Emmanuel Brimpong, you would know that, or you would hear that they mentioned that right from the onset, right from after the Congress day, they reached out to the president. So they are not just here to accuse anybody without, pushing for audience. No, they did do their best to reach out to him, for him to answer to all of these loopholes that is going on in the association, but he hasn't answered. And I think that the last time that you, Angela,
yes,
the last time that you saw him was the day that after the Congress that you said you met him in the afternoon.
Yes,
that was the last time that you saw him. And from that time, you were about 4. And from that time, they've not set their eyes on the president. He's not responding to their phone calls right now. But they still want accountability as to what exactly the monies were used for. And monies that dues that were paid into the account by these 4 universities that Desmond mentioned earlier. How come a sum of 120,000 Ghana cedis wasn't taken out of the account after everything? I mean, that part, it really doesn't I don't understand, but I think that they all deserve accountability as to what exactly the monies were used for. Now, my question here is, what exactly do you want? What are you hoping for right now?
Okay, so as the treasurer for the Noble Association, since we are dealing with students, and we should make sure that whatever we preach during our campaign, as in making association, so liable to the extent that people would like to, come and join, there should be accountability and transparency in the association. So after the Congress, we are now calling the president and other executives that they should come on board so that we will sit down. Then we will give account. Then we will know as to whether the association is going forward or backwards. Then we will plan about our handing over, and also, handing over to the new elected executive. So that's our wish now. Yeah.
Okay, so the CAN is an abbreviation of the president's name. Christian Anderson Interfo. Yeah. Okay, right. So this message says, USAG President Anderson, where is the association money? He should refund the money for the next administration. Furthermore, administration, wicked President CAN. Good morning. Good work done, Diane, Edujefi, and Yasantua. Keep it up. Diane, Edujefi, and Yasantua, when are you guys handing over to us? Because you so just come sack you pay. Which monies will you use to run the association? Shout out to Mr. President of USAG, Dr. CAN, and his 3 sets problem. Kwabena says, if you want to see how corrupt our future politicians will become, look at these people and these SRC representatives. Angela says, how can the president's sister sit to collect money when that is not a constitutional mandate? That's a breach of constitution. Nana Kwame says, okay, UNER is proud of you. What is UNER?
University of Energy and Natural Resources. Okay. I completed University of Energy and Natural Resources.
Okay. So, Nana Yao Jesse Ahin, dear USAG executives, it is with utmost urgency that I implore you to set aside personal differences and prioritize the preservation of our association's name and reputation. The recent conflicts and public disagreements have tarnished the image of USAG, making it imperative for us to work towards a resolution. It is essential that we engage in constructive dialogue, find common ground, and collectively decide on the best course of action. By doing so, we can salvage our organization's integrity and ensure a prosperous future for USAG. Thanks. Okay, right. Thank you, viewers, for your comments. Now, before you go, let me your final words. Anything you want to say finally, and let me come to you, Angela.
Okay, so I just want our university students to know that whatever cause that we are fighting is at their best interest. We would never tarnish the image of the association, because anytime, on any day, wherever we stand as proud USAG executives, because we all has sacrificed for the association, and we will continue to fight for the best interest of the association. And from today henceforth, I believe that whatever thing that we are doing here would inform the next administration to do things right.
Yes.
And that is what we stand for. And then to our president, we are open for negotiations. They haven't reached out to me, but then that is not the conversation here.
That's not the focus.
That is not the focus. What we are saying is, you must account to we, the rest of us, the elected national executives, because we need to account to our constituents as well.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's very true. Desmond, before you continue, let's read this comments briefly. It says, these are all future politicians. Once it doesn't go for them, it's evil. When it goes for them, it's super. I pity for the future of politics in Ghana. Okay, Martin Asari, thank you very much for this message. Desmond.
Okay, so I would like to say USAG will survive. USAG won't die. Yes. But we believe in the next coming days, USAG is going to be a strong association of which people would like to come and join. Because the whole scenario is, you know, most people
will come enjoy it, but there are no monies to be running the association.
That's why
you guys are sweating. You are going through a whole lot to fund and to keep the association running.
Yes.
And you want what? Okay.
Yeah. So that's
maybe you are leaving money for the next
better.
Okay.
So
they said they are leaving money for you. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I said we are setting the record straight. So, you know, our administration is willing and is going to leave some amount of money to the next administration so that they won't suffer as we did.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so USAG will also survive this.
Right.
And in the upcoming days. Thank you.
Thank you too. Okay, Diane.
Dear university students of Ghana, we are not here to tarnish the image of USAG. Rather, we are here to make sure that USAG is stronger. That USAG is the only institution that stood against corruption and protected the integrity and the strength of the association. We are doing this for you. We are doing this for the next generation. We are not doing this for any selfish intent. And we have taken this on legally, and it's an investigation, so I wouldn't like to give out a lot of details, but we hope that in the coming weeks there's going to be a resolution. So keep calm, and we would make sure that we do the best to resolve this, so that in the future we are going to look back and be proud that we spoke up when nobody was speaking up and the culture of silence was broken.
Gentlemen and lady, thank you very much for being here, and I hope that the accountability that you are hoping and looking for, you indeed get it from the president. And so, speaking on this issue, were Angela Ya Asantua, International and Diaspora Relations Secretary, Desmond Edujemfi, who is a Treasurer, and Diane Akbane Green, Coordinating Secretary. Thank you once more for being here, and all the best in this legal battle. Right, okay, so viewers, this is where we end this conversation. Thank you. Make sure you are still getting interactive with us on all our social media platforms. Don't go away. It's not time for us to close yet. There's so much coming your way. My name is Esiedua Kumia. Coming up next is some updates in the world of sports with Nathaniel Atto. Do stay tuned.